African scientists have unveiled what has been described as a motorcycle-sized meteorite in the Eastern Cape. On the 25th of August, residents in the province, the Western Cape and the Free State as well, reported seeing a bright blue, white and orange streak in the sky. That streak was accompanied by a vibrating and explosive sound. What was it? Joining us is Dr. Dodd, who is a geologist at Nelson Mandela University. Dr. Dodd, it's great to talk to you. Thanks for coming onto the program. And I have to say, what are the chances, I suppose, of even seeing these streaks of blue and orange in the sky when all of us are so busy?
Yeah, no, it was really a fantastic coincidence, I guess, since these events don't often occur during the daytime. And over the weekend, I think a lot more people were out and about and able to see it. So that is very exciting, I think.
Yeah, so that was Sunday, the 25th of August.
Yes.
I imagine that geologists like yourself track events of this nature. I mean, do we have any of this captured by institutions like the ones at Nelson Mandela University?
So there are definitely institutions that specialize in this type of thing, but there are a couple of instruments that you can use to track the events or the data that's created by the events. For example, infrasound data, seismic data, and that type of thing. Mm-hmm. And these stations are often kept in place or maintained by, for example, the Council for Geosciences or universities or international institutions such as NASA, for example.
Yeah. So this 9-year-old, Elize du Toit, while sitting on her grandparents' porch in Nweba, saw this rock fall from the sky, land near a wild fig tree in the garden. She says the rock was black and shiny on the outside with a light grey concrete-like exterior and was still warm. There she is, was still warm when she picked it up. Yeah. I suppose my first response as a mother would be, if you see something fall from the sky, is it best to go ahead and pick it up?
Yeah, well, I think both Jessica Buata, the mother, and Elize du Toit have curious personalities. So I think their first instinct was to go investigate. And a couple of moments later, they saw, or I'm not sure if this was before actually, but they did know of the sonic boom as well. So they heard the sonic boom. They saw Zoe's van der Merwe's video of the bow light flight. So I think they kind of knew already what it potentially was.
Mm. And what is a meteorite?
So a meteorite is what the actual rock that comes from a meteor. Mm-hmm. And this is derived from asteroids or even Mars or the moon. So it comes from either planetary body or an outer space body. And then upon impact, a small piece will dislodge and it can enter the Earth's atmosphere. And this we then call a meteor as it enters the Earth's atmosphere. So once it reaches...
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, once it reaches the Earth's surface and there's a rock fragment, that's the meteorite.
I see. And then how did you go ahead? And I know that, scientists went to the site of where it landed and they were able to collect all, if not most of the parts, the fragments, because obviously it split apart when it landed.
Yes.
But so are you sure that this was the size, a motorcycle-sized meteorite, before it split apart?
We scientists guesstimate sometimes. Yeah. So this, at the moment, with the data we have, this is our best estimate, that it was about the size of a motorcycle. Yes, we collected, or we received all the samples that Elize du Toit and her mother, Jessica Buata, collected. But we are still actually actively searching for some fragments, and these can be scattered over quite a vast distance. So it will take some time to do that search.
Right, yeah. No, I can just imagine. Just the fact that it'll be scattered over quite a large distance. So the Nweba meteorite, which is what it's been named now because that's where it was found, what do you know so far about its makeup?
So it's the proposed name. It still has to go through the formal classification, and then if the Meteoritical Society on an international level, if they accept that name, then it will be the official name. But so far, we can say that it is what we call an achondrite. So it's quite a scarce variety. In South Africa, we only have two other from the same, let's say, classification. So it's either howardite, eucrite, or digenite. So we only have two recorded howardites in South Africa so far, making up less than 4% of our meteorite finds. So quite a scarce variety. We are going to go through the next step will be the classification, where we will then determine the exact mineral composition and some other physical properties. And yeah, then, as I mentioned, we will go and submit that to the international database, and they will then accept the proposed name. But so far, we can say that it's likely from the HED classification, so howardite, eucrite, or digenite. It's probably a howardite or digenite. So these rocks are from the more shallow crustal parts of a planetary body. And it comes from the Vesta asteroid, which is in the main asteroid belt.
Okay, I'm gonna have to write down everything you've said. Head on over to Google.
Oh, sorry. Sometimes science
try and figure
the terminology.
Exactly.
I'm so.
So just to be clear, a meteorite versus an asteroid, because you know what comes to mind with the bodies falling from the sky and landing on Earth is the potential for an extinction event, right? That's how the dinosaurs became extinct. It was the impact of an asteroid. That was the main culprit, according to the science that we have in front of us. So when we're talking about meteorite versus an asteroid impact with Earth, what would be the main differences there?
I think it's all about the size. So, for example, the bow light, which is the streak of light that we see, there was a occurrence of what they call a super bow light in Russia. And that was quite dangerous. A lot of people were injured during that event. So I think it's all about size. But the asteroid, I think, is more specifically the parent body while it's in outer space. And as soon as it enters the Earth's atmosphere, it's considered a meteor.
I see.
And then when it reaches the surface, it's a meteorite.
Very excited, Elise du Toit, the 9-year-old who saw this this solar body, space body falling from the sky. And I imagine this is going to be a highlight of this 9-year-old's life going forward. Perhaps she's going to be the next Dr. Carla Dodd.